Welcome to Virtual Media Day here on the campus of Benedictine College. Josh Pound now joined by the men's basketball coach for the Ravens, Ryan Moody. And Coach, we are just a couple of weeks away from that season opener. You've had the guys in the gym now for a couple of weeks doing some, some intense practices. Just talk about how that's gone so far.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a really good 2-3 weeks here of practice. The intensity level's high. We're playing fast, sometimes a little sloppy, but it's early. We've maintained health pretty well. Made it through some bumps and bruises. Got a couple guys out, but the biggest thing that I can say about this team in the 2 to 3 weeks that we've been working on the floor is our chemistry's great. It's great when a team cares about each other, likes each other, and then can hold each other accountable at the same time. And you can do that when you like each other. You can hold each other accountable because you know it's not personal. This is a great group. They're active participants in learning and in coaching each other when we're on the floor. And we've spent a lot of time talking about that and trying to get that to where it needs to be. And this group has really bought in. So, I think we've got a chance for some great things on the floor, but I like what we've got off the floor too right now, and that's really good.
Well, a positive that can be taken out of a season last year is that you got an opportunity to see a lot of your guys on the floor. You see them obviously every day in practice, but to get them into game situations, that's invaluable. Talk about the returners that you've got coming back this year.
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, we've got 7 guys that are in their 4th year of college, essentially. A couple of those guys are only juniors because we redshirted them, but we've got a wealth of experience and maturity, so guys that have been on the floor in multiple situations, and then guys that are older. All those guys are 21 years old. Or even older than that, and that there is something to be said for that in college basketball, having older guys, 4th and 5th year guys, and those returners have worked hard. I think the best thing that happened to us last year, what we can take out of last year's season was those guys didn't like it, and the minute that season got over, they really got back to work in the weight room, on the floor. We are strong, we look fit, our skill level went up with those guys that are coming back. And then you've got that group of sophomores too. We kind of don't really have much of a junior class. We've got Jaden and Saxton and Eric Cruz and Christian Noski. All those guys worked just as hard as well, and then followed the lead of those older guys. So, you got guys like Adam Cutney, Thomas O'Connor, who've really played since their freshman year. Colby Nichols, Wills Walrap, Grant Lom, Kyle Harrison, Peyton Heinen. All of these experienced older guys who know what it felt to go through a little bit of a rough patch last year. And I think they've really used that as motivation this year. And they've done a great job of leading our new guys.
And speaking of those returning guys, obviously you've got guys that are coming back, have played a role now that role may shift because they may take on a little bit more of the leadership, I don't want to say burden, but
Sure.
the leadership role on their shoulders. What are your expectations from that standpoint?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, the leadership's in stages and in levels, right? I mean, as freshmen, we talk a lot to our freshmen, like being a leader as a freshman is being on time, being in the right spot, not being a distraction, essentially. Yes, you can cheer and be positive and all, but then as you move up, sophomore, junior, and clearly senior year, the leadership role changes, and it's almost by default or just because you're in that senior role, and it's really cool to see the guys step up. Adam, Tom, Wills, Colby, those guys have really done a good job of stepping up as leaders this year on the floor, and are very loud. There's a lot of voices in the gym. I like that, and just doing a great job of coaching. We talk about that a lot. We have to be willing to coach our teammates and accept that coaching, and I think they're doing a really good job of coaching each other, coaching the young guys. And it's been a really refreshing fall for us. Guys are really getting after it and competing and trying to make each other better.
Well, with all of that returning power you've got, you go out and recruit a decent sized class to come in. Just talk about those guys as well.
Yeah, we brought in 6 new guys, so 5 true freshmen and a transfer. We'll start with Chris Jackson, the transfer from Urbana University in Ohio. We knew of Chris coming out of high school. He gives us an athlete at the wing that can shoot it really well from 3-point line. It's taken him a little bit of time to figure out our system, but I'm telling you, he's got a chance to be maybe a lockdown defender. He really embraces defense, and when he's dialed in, he's really good. He can handle it pretty well, plays maybe the 1 through 3, and can shoot it. So he gives us maybe some depth at that wing position that we maybe didn't have before him. And then the 5 freshmen, Tyson Cathy from Liberty North, Joel Adize from La Salette Academy in Illinois, Jaden Temme from Creighton Prep in Omaha, Nebraska, Hunter Schneider from Shawnee Mission South in Kansas City, and then Jake Thompson from Rockhurst High School in Kansas City. They all add depth. There's a lot of size there. Hunter, Joel, Tyson, Timmy, they're all 6'7" or 6'8". Jake's the little guy at the point guard position, but does a great job, and we needed that depth. And I think you'll see some of those guys playing this year. Where in the past, we've done a lot of redshirting of younger guys. I think we'll have a couple of guys maybe that are potential redshirt guys. We haven't made those decisions yet, but I do know that there's going to be a couple guys that are going to, number one, we're going to need their help. They're going to have to get minutes and provide depth. So we're excited about those young guys. They're all very talented, and I think in the long run they're going to be a really great class.
Well, now we turn our focus to talking a little bit about maybe the schedule a little bit this year. A really tough non-conference schedule to prepare you for probably one of the toughest conference schedules in the country.
I mean, I don't know if there is a tougher conference schedule in the country. We have the returning national champion. We have another Final Four team in our league. We had 4 teams get to the national tournament last year, all nationally ranked pretty much all year. I don't think there's a tougher league out there than the Heart. And we're okay with that. We like that. We would like to be in that conversation of those top 4 or 5, and I think we've got a chance at that. But we went back to the double round robin format in the Heart. Last year we played in divisions. Personally, I hated it. I didn't vote for it. But they listened to us as coaches, meaning our ADs and presidents and our commissioner, and we went back to a double round robin, which is really the way it should be in basketball. Not all sports are the same.
Right.
And basketball, to find that true champion, when you're deciding national tournament bids, on how you finish in your league, we want a shot to play William Penn twice. We want to play Graceland twice and the best teams in the league twice. We want that opportunity. And so we've got 24 league games this year, and it's going to be brutal. It'll be a grind from the middle of November until the end of March, we hope. And that is a challenge. Now, our non-conference schedule, like you said, is tough. We start right off the bat with Morningside, October 30th, just 2 weeks away. They went to the Elite Eight in NAIA Division II tournament last year. We've got University of Science and Arts out of Oklahoma. They were in the national tournament last year, NAIA Division I. And then Park, who's always a very athletic national tournament type team every year. So those are our first 3 games, and that's a challenge. That's going to get us ready for sure. So we're really looking forward to it. The other thing that we're really looking forward to is we're going to play the Rockhurst University again. And as a former player here, Rockhurst weekend and those Rockhurst games were huge. They were so fun. It was packed, sold out crowds. We're really looking forward to that game on December 5th. I'm thankful to Coach Diener and his administration for making this happen. We haven't played in a long time. We've played, I think, 92 times in the last 53 years between the 2 programs, and this is the classic old school Catholic basketball Midwest rivalry, and it's going to be at Rockhurst. We're hoping to sell that sucker out and have a lot of fun with that game.
Well, I'm glad you talked about it. Obviously, as a BC grad, that is something that we kind of, I don't want to say take grief, but it doesn't always work now with their Division II, and we're at the NAI level to get that on the schedule. So just talk a little bit about what all went into maybe getting that back on the schedule.
It's just a matter of, first it's finding a date. It's just finding the time to get it done, and December 5th happened to work out. We've been trying for a couple of years. And the other part of it is, it's going to be an exhibition game for us. I think it is for them. I'm not exactly sure how it works on their end, but making sure that both sides understand how important it is to get it going again. We've already got a lot of interest, people asking about tickets and getting a chance to get down to that game. So behind the scenes, it's just a matter of Coach Diener and I working with our ADs, making sure that everything's in place. It's just a 1 game down there, for us. We're not going to return it, at least not at this point, but we're just excited to get it back on the schedule.
Well, I can't think of anything else that we haven't covered. It's pretty exciting to get the season going. It's hard to believe it's already here, but
it really is.
You're probably, as a coach, ready to get into the regular flow and mix of the season.
Yeah, we are. We've got a couple weeks here of finishing up, tightening things up with our offense and defense. But I really like this group. We've got a great mix of maturity and youth. I think we're very skilled. I think we can really shoot it, and I think we'll have to play our way. We're going to have to maintain a decent pace, not play too fast, not play too slow, and be extremely efficient, not turn it over, not give up offensive rebounds, control the possessions. But this league is just killer. We have to vote, and you've got teams. William Penn has added just stud transfers from Division I's and junior colleges. Peru State the same, Grandview the same. So the league is going to be extremely challenging, but we're looking forward to that challenge, and we're ready to get started. First home game is November 2nd against the University of Science and Arts out of Oklahoma, and we're looking forward to seeing people out there.
Well, that'll do it for our virtual media day here on the campus of Benedictine College. This has been Ryan Moody. I'm Josh Powell.
Thanks. All right.
Perfect.